This video explains why no one should buy products made by Germans or companies controlled by German masqueraders such as Johnson and Johnson because of their diabolical evil nature. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjit Saini, where I provide unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. This is a follow-up video to my April 25, 2022 video titled Why I Don't Buy German Products and Advise That No One in the World Ever Should. In that video, I described the German national character as revealed in the Bible. Though they are well known for their technical prowess, German national character is succinctly explained in the book of Nahum the prophet. God says of the Germans in Nahum 1 verses 11 and 14, "There is one come out of you that imagines evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor, for you are vile," in verse 14. One who imagines evil against God is Satan the devil or a human inspired by him. Germans no longer hide the fact that Satan is their God and that he guides them. They are vile in every sense of the word, including pouring filth on other human beings. Their evil character is best described in the terms God used to describe the pre flood evil that was rampant on earth in Genesis 6, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. That's what the Germans are. Their thoughts are always on how to kill people, inflict as much pain and suffering as they can on them, deprive them of as much of their wealth as they can, and take advantage of them in every way they can. Nahum further elaborated on their traits in Nahum 3 verses 1 and 19. Woe to the bloody city, using Assyria's ancient capital Nineveh as a representation of Assyria's modern descendants, Germans. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departs not. So here are four characteristics of the Germans very precisely identified. They are given to much bloodshed in the world. That means they delight in killing and murdering people with very little or no reason at all, unless they can reduce them to servitude to serve them. They are liars and deceivers through and through. They are wholly given to robbing other people. They are always preying on and victimizing some people or the other at all times. Then verse 19, "Upon whom has not your wickedness passed continually?" This prophecy tells us that in the end time, no people on earth will escape their evil. When a people are wholly given to evil, you can expect them to sell products to other people that are designed to harm them in some ways, though do it clandestinely so that they never get caught. In that video, I also gave examples of the following German products that were designed to cause harm. The first example was the Volkswagen cars, in which the company used a software device to defeat emission standards which were deployed in about 11 million cars worldwide and in about 500,000 cars in the United States in the model years from 2005 to 2015. As a result, VW cars got a green car rating and received government subsidies. In real driving, the emissions were 40 times higher than the tests. The VW emission scandal has caused real harm to the environment, contributing to health problems and more deaths due to excess pollution than would otherwise have resulted. This fraud cost the company about $33 billion so far. However, don't think the company paid those fines or made restitution. German masqueraders all over the world help the company meet those fines, penalties, and other costs by buying more VW cars. I came to know about this because in 2017 I worked at Liberty Mutual Insurance as a call center agent handling auto insurance policies. There I took calls from German masqueraders who had bought 4 to 5 VW cars when they had no need for so many of them in their families. Thus, VW and the German economy were not hurt by the scandal. German masqueraders in other countries bailed them out. The second example was that of the German tire manufacturer Continental through its collaboration in India with the Modi Group. To establish itself in the Indian market, the company manufactured tires with an additional tread than the normal layers so that the market recognized the company's tires as very strong. During this period, the company made huge losses. After the reputation of the company's tires was established, the company then started manufacturing tires with one less tread layer than the normal number of layers. The company recovered its losses, began making huge profits, and started acquiring other tire manufacturers. Subsequently, customers caught on to the company's deceptive practices and it began making losses. The company was sold to the German collaborator Continental AG, but its operations remained suspended. But it illustrates how Germans teach their evil to their allies. Another German masquerader invention is the brush, also called interdental cleaner. It is a small brush used to clean between teeth. I used the brush for many years and noticed that the gap between my teeth had increased. My dentist took new x-rays of my teeth and informed me that I had very little enamel left on my teeth. I immediately recognized that the cause was the proxy brush and stopped using it. As a result, the gap between the teeth has reduced somewhat. Fourth example is that German masqueraders conduct elaborate campaigns made very effective by using doctors to promote the use of products or remedies that harm human health and reduce life expectancy. For example, many fad diets are promoted in the United States. One particularly harmful campaign is to encourage the consumption of more fats and oils. While consumption of certain amount of fats and oils is essential to human health, some doctors claim that the amount of good fats and oils should be a major portion of a person's diet. Thus, they promote an unbalanced diet. The truth is that all the food substances, fats and oils are the hardest to digest. If a person switches to a diet heavier in fats and oils, he will wear out his digestive system quicker, reducing his lifespan. In addition, an unbalanced diet leads to more diseases. Fifth example, Germans enlist the help of their allies to do harm to every other people there who are not allied with them or subservient to them. They have had an alliance with the Chinese since the late 1950s. They have taught them to practice the same evils that they do. Chinese have deliberately manufactured and sold products in the United States, and I'm quite certain in other countries as well, designed to slowly kill or harm people. Examples include manufacturing toys with lead paint on them that harm the health of children, causing learning disabilities, then using defective drywall that causes mold, leading to sickness and causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses to each of the families who came to own the homes in the United States because they can no longer live in them. Then selling tainted drugs designed to cause death. Then consumer products such as toothpaste contaminated with known carcinogens, tainted pet food that cause the death of pets, and of course adulterated food imported from China. I also gave the example of Johnson and Johnson, the American pharmaceutical consumer products and healthcare products giant, which has been taken over by German masqueraders and has been engaged in deliberately manufacturing products for decades that seriously harm human health, even kill. One example of such a product is talcum powder, which caused ovarian cancer in women. It was also sold as baby powder. The company knew that these health effects linked to the asbestos in its products since 1982, but kept selling the products anyway. Thus, diabolical evil intentions of the company have already been proved. It has already paid out more than $4.7 billion, while other lawsuits are pending. Second product developed by J&J or Johnson and Johnson with an evil intention is Johnson's baby oil, which is mineral oil derived from petroleum hydrocarbons. Oil rubbed into the skin gets absorbed into the body and enters the bloodstream. Can you imagine babies' bodies absorbing petroleum based products? That's what the company sold for decades. The product is no longer marketed as baby oil. I also never buy Listerine mouthwash because the product corrodes gums. The product has been deliberately designed that way. It seems that German masqueraders saw great potential in using J&J around 1980 to destroy the health of Americans, particularly babies, to kill them prematurely, and that of their enemies around the world, such as the British Commonwealth nations. Therefore, they decided to control the company. Most of the harmful products were marketed vigorously after 1982 because that's when German masqueraders took control of the company. J&J experienced a devastating event in its history in 1982. In September-October of 1982, 7 young people in the Chicago suburbs, ranging in age from 12 to 35, died after taking Tylenol pain reliever manufactured by J&J. The pills were found to be tainted with potassium cyanide, which killed the victims. Investigation into the deaths revealed that the Tylenol pills had been laced with cyanide after the packages left J&J's manufacturing facilities. To date, the perpetrators have not been found. The 1970s and 80s were the heydays of the German masqueraders because clandestinely they controlled law enforcement and the justice system in much of the United States. They were fully capable of quashing any legitimate investigation into the incident. A man named James Lewis claimed to be the Tylenol killer and wrote a ransom letter to Johnson and Johnson demanding $1 million in exchange for stopping the poisonings. But the police and federal investigators determined that Lewis lived in New York and had no demonstrable links to the Chicago events. He was charged with extortion and sentenced to 20 years in prison. He was released in 1995 after serving 13 years of his sentence. Immediately after the event, the stock price of J&J dropped by 30%. That's when German masqueraders bought the shares and acquired control of the company. The stock rebounded to its previous high in just 2 months. That's how German masqueraders orchestrated an incident to acquire control of a premium US company. For them, killing a few innocent people to meet their objectives is never a big deal. They saw great potential in using a company to fulfill the goal of killing white Americans of non-German ancestry to take over the land for themselves. They were willing to go to any lengths to take control of the company. Later, they also saw great potential in taking over Procter & Gamble for the same reason. But after packaging improvements to make them tamper-proof, it was no longer possible to tamper with products. They then used threats to force the P&G, that's Procter & Gamble CEO, to resign and replaced him with one of their own. But by that time, the masqueraders and the evil had been discovered. The masquerader CEO was immediately forced to resign with threats and replaced with the original CEO. I hope all people understand the German satanic nature thoroughly. They can do nothing else but evil to cause harm to other people. Their nature can best be paraphrased in terms of Genesis 6 verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of Germans is great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of their heart is only evil continually. And Nahum 3:19 affirms that no nation escapes their wickedness. That is why I do not buy German products or products manufactured by German masquerader controlled companies such as Johnson and Johnson. Please take this warning seriously for your own safety and well-being. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, how Bible prophecy is playing an important role in world affairs, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook channels, Unmasked Truth with Harmanjit Saini, to view and get information on the latest videos.